You're wondering what this is, right? Ah, well, it's marble, my friends. Marble that was exploited in Rance and which is sold all over Europe. And well, it's here that it is extracted. Oh dear, I'm skipping the steps. Would you like to know all about it? It's pretty straightforward, it just takes a bit of time. Okay.
So, tell us about it then.
Yes, let's just take a few minutes to explain the millions of years that are required to form red marble deposits. You should know that a very, very long time ago, this entire region, as well as a large portion of this planet, was covered by a fairly shallow but warm and tropical sea. Sure, it's not that easy to imagine now, but continents as we know them hadn't yet come out of the water. And so here, yes, here where we are standing right now, was once underwater. A sea brimming with living organisms, including small coral which were deposited on the seabed. And over millions of years, the skeletons of this coral mixed with other sea animals and calcareous ooze to form this large rocky mass which we call bioherm. So why is it red? Due to the iron oxide that comes from the bacteriological activity and which gives it this characteristic Rance red colour, a name which proves the link between the town and its marble. And if you look closer at this local marble, you'll see a fossil, the Tamnopora, which stonemasons call the rat's tail. In some places, these red marble domes are close to the soil surface. It's this proximity that allows for relatively easy exploitation in the 4 open quarries that are found in Rance. Today, these quarries have been flooded or filled in, but the mining era has left many reminders, as marble was a way of life for generations of Rance inhabitants. So, around 1900 in the boom period, marble was a source of work for many people, notably for women who polished it from home, while a dozen or so companies provided employment for their husbands. For example, Jules Le Rollet Limited employed 350 workers and 200 home-based polishers. The marble workers were fortunate to have relatively privileged working conditions compared to coal mines, a certain amount of job security and calm industrial relations in spite of several strikes between 1900 and 1910. All changed after 1950 when it was necessary to progressively stop exploitation.
Yes, Rance has its own museum of marble. It's no surprise that this world-renowned material is put in the spotlight, but it's also an opportunity to explain how marble was worked in Rance.
Perhaps you were wondering how the blocks of marble were extracted from the wall of rock. Well, from the middle of the 19th century, marble was cut using a helicoidal saw. That is to say, a steel cable turning on a continuous loop. A mixture of sand, the abrasive, and water is added for cooling. And this is how the rectangular blocks were obtained. Later, the use of diamond would replace the sand to achieve more rapid sawing, still cooled by water. But that's not all. These blocks extracted from the quarries then needed to be cut into sections, using cutting armour like that displayed in the museum. It was a slow job, as you can imagine, 1 centimetre per hour, constantly moistening the marble with water and sand. Today still it is this basic principle which is used, but with diamond blades. What next? Well, it was necessary to smooth out the ripples left by the sawing and shape the pieces to their exact measurements. Finally, the marble arrives in the stonemason's workshop. Work that requires real skill, as well as plans and special tools for shaping and polishing. So how is this marble used? Monuments? Fireplaces? Sculptures, but also unusual pieces used in times gone by, known as fancy goods. And so, aren't you amazed?
Well, we're certainly not stony-faced.